and today we're going to be doing a stretch and relaxation routine. So this is a great one to wind you down in the evening, just to release any stress, tension throughout the day. Or it's also great to do right at the beginning of your day or even the middle of the day to wake you up in the morning or just refresh you during the day. So any time would be great. If you have a resistance band, go and grab that. If you don't have one of these, don't worry. You can always use different things like a pair of tights or the tie from your bathrobe. That could work just as well. Alternatively, you can do all of these without, so don't worry if you don't have one. So remember that no stretch should be painful. Don't feel like you have to reach down too far into stretches. There should be no shaking, pain, discomfort, just where it feels comfortable for you. So just bring yourself onto your mat, feet nice and parallel, and let's just slowly roll ourselves down to the mat. You can just reach down towards the toes, and you may find here you're already feeling a little bit tight through the back of the legs, so just soften your knees. And just slowly start to bring yourself down into a crouch. Once you're low enough, bring yourself down onto your sit bones. And just bring yourself onto your mat, wherever you're nice and comfortable. Just bringing the bottom of the feet together, sitting nice and tall on your sit bones. I'm feeling a little tight today in my hips, so I'm going to keep my feet a little further away. But we call this a butterfly stretch or a frog stretch, I like to call it. So your knees are open out to the side, your feet are together, and you can bring your feet in closer if you have more flexibility, or you may be fine with them slightly further away. And I just want you to start to melt over the legs, just bringing your head towards your feet. Making sure there's no tension, shaking, you're not forcing yourself into that stretch. If you want to deepen that stretch, you can press down into the inner legs. Fold yourself over a little more, making sure there's no back strain at all. I just want you to focus on your Pilates breathing. Breathing in through the nose, expanding through the rib cage, and then exhale, blowing out those candles or blowing through a straw. And you can start to bring your feet in a little bit closer if you're feeling like you're stretching down and those muscles are starting to relax enough. Just keep breathing nice and regularly. Just start to bring yourself up to a nice tall position, and just keep that same leg position, but just use your hands, and you can bring your band with you because we'll use that shortly, but just use your hands to slowly lower yourself all the way down to the mat. And just make sure your back is nice and neutral, so no big arching through the back. Same time you're not pressing the back too harshly into the mat. And just feel those hips continue to open. And just take your arms out to the side into a nice V or a T shape. And just feel the chest opening a bit here as well, the arms. As you continue to feel those hips opening in your pelvis. Slowly squeeze both legs together so your knees are bent, feet are flat. Your ankles, your knees and your thighs together, and your upper body is still down on the mat with your arms in that T shape. We're going to let both legs drop together over to one side, keeping everything from your waist up completely glued on the mat. And you're just going to turn your head the opposite way. And let's just feel a nice little stretch again, still through the chest, the arms. You might be feeling this a little bit more down your waist and the outer side of your leg as well. Again, just focusing on that controlled breathing. Let's come up and let's switch to the other side. Again, trying to get that upper body pressing down into the mat. We'll just hold that for a few more more seconds. Good, coming back to center. Lovely, let's just cross one leg over the other into a figure of 4. You may find this a little bit more difficult, so I do have another option. This may be enough stretch. I want you to flex your feet, so really pull your toes towards your knees, because that will help to support them, keep them nice and safe. If you're able to, you're going to bring the leg that was still down on the floor in towards your chest, and you're going to find yourself in this lovely glute stretch. Great for opening out the hips as well. Now if you want to, you can always press on the leg that's crossed over. Now if you're finding that hard to reach that leg across, you may want to drop the other one down a little bit lower. Or you may find if you're straining to bring that other leg in, just support yourself, lift yourself up a little higher, just so you're not straining through the neck. I love this one, it's so good for those glutes that are often quite tight. And let's just focus on breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And switch to the other side again, flex your feet, cross the other leg in if you're able to. This is my tighter side. I'm sure you'll work out and be able to feel what side feels a little tighter for you as well. Again, just feeling that through your glutes. You may be feeling your hips opening here as well. Just picking the option that feels best for you. Good, untucking through the legs, just curling up into a ball. Keeping your head and shoulders down so we're not lifting off of the mat, but just start to rock from side to side. A little bit back and forth, or maybe round in a circle, just to give that back a little bit of a massage. Let's keep one leg in, place the other one down, and just reach that upper leg nice and long. And I will do another hip flexor stretch on your front that you may feel a little bit more. I just want you to reach the other leg nice and long. And just have the foot wherever it feels comfortable, relaxed, pointed, flexed. And again, just focus on your spine being nice and neutral. Just take that same leg and open the leg out to the side into the nearest hand. So the same arm. So if you're taking your right leg out, it goes in the right arm. If it's the left, it's in the left arm. And you're just feeling your hips opening that little bit more. And let's do the same thing across the body. So you're bringing that leg over and you're just going to feel that more down that outer side. Just feeling the rest of the body melting down into the mat. Coming back to center, place that leg down. Do the same to the other. Bring the other leg into the chest. Drop the other leg down and just feel those hip flexors opening out through the front. Just feel your shoulders relaxing down. And you can just move your head from side to side and just find where it's nice and comfortable. And just take your leg out to the side and just feel a lovely stretch across the hips. As you hold, again, not reaching across too much where it's uncomfortable. And let's take the leg across into the other hand. Just feel that down through the other side. Good. Just place your legs down and your arm, and just imagine someone's pulling you from each end of the room, and your legs along, your arms along, and you're just going into a lovely full body stretch. Just lock your fingers and you can press your palms up to the ceiling and just feel your shoulders, your upper back rounding off of the mat. Taking your arms above the head. Let the arms relax. Just grabbing hold of your band. So we're going to do some leg stretches. Again, you can do this without. So you're going to place the band onto the middle of the right foot. Just make sure you have equal ends of the band. It's nice and equal. And you can wrap the band round once or twice just to help support you. Now, what I don't want you to do here is bounce into the stretch or be shaking. We just want to hold. Now your other leg can be bent knee, foot flat, just as I have it now, or if you feel you can get a little bit more stretch, you can drop the other leg down. And you're just going to hold. You may need to soften this knee a little bit here as well. I'm going to have my knee slightly bent this week. And I just want you to feel the rest of the body relaxing down as much as you can. Just breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. So you should be feeling the stretch all down your hamstring. Make sure your pelvis, your tailbone isn't lifting off of the mat and tilting in. You're just nice and neutral. At this point, you may find your muscles are relaxing. Can you bring them in, or can you bring that leg in just a little bit more? Again, as long as there's no shaking. Good. So we're really working here on flexibility. Often we can find our hamstrings, our hips, all these areas are quite tight. So these are great stretches to do daily if you can. See if you can bring that leg in a little bit closer for the last few seconds. Don't worry if you can't. Remember, you may not have the band, you may be holding just above the knee or below, but you don't want to hold on that knee joint. Good, let's take the leg out to the side. So we just want to start to feel that stretch. I'm just going to move over a little more. We want to take the leg out to the side and just feel that stretch all down the inner part of the leg. You can let your other leg open out to the side. It may still be flat down. And again, we want to make sure our hips are nice and level. We're not locking the knee into place. We're keeping it nice and soft. Remember your regular controlled breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Can you reach across just a little bit more? Of course, I'm a little bit limited here. Remember, if you don't have the band, you may even be resting your leg here on your sofa or on a plant pot if you are able to be outside in the sunshine. Again, just see if you can reach into that stretch just a little bit more. Still feeling the rest of the body winding down. Good, and take that leg now across the body to the other side. Now try not to let your hips roll here. We want to keep the hips nice and neutral as you reach over. Now you may find you're feeling this in the hamstrings a little bit if you're lifting the leg too high. So you may need to shuffle around, drop the leg a little lower, bring it further across, just until you feel that stretch down the outer side of the leg this time. Your other leg may be bent knee, foot flat if you need a little bit more support there, or it may get in the way, so you may want to drop it down. And again, just focus on your spine, being nice and neutral. Your shoulders relaxing down and away from the ears. And just see as that muscle starts to relax, can you reach that leg across just a little bit more? Again, not worrying if you can't. And we'll hold that for the last few seconds. Lovely. Let's take that band off. I always check this. Let's see. If you reach your legs nice and long, the leg we were just stretching should feel weirdly a bit longer than the other. So you can have a check. Let's switch on to the other leg. So again, you're going to find that probably one side feels a little tighter than the other. You may find this is your more flexible side. Just adjust to what you need. Again, today I'm going to keep the knee bent. You will find some weeks I can stretch down a little bit more. It depends on what time of the day it is as well. Just as we're holding this stretch, let's just start to move a little bit through the head. So just drop the head to the side, keeping the head in contact with the mat. And then roll the head across to the other side. We go again, just turning the head across, looking to the side. And again, just rolling the head across to the other side. Coming back to center. Has that leg relaxed? Can you bring that leg in a little bit closer? Again, without shaking, without pain, without bouncing into the stretch. Still concentrating on your breathing. We'll hold that for the last few seconds. Remembering you may be holding onto the leg without the band. Let's take the leg out to the side. So we want to be holding these stretches for about 30 seconds. Of course, where I'm talking, it can be really difficult to keep track of time. So if you find you need to hold it a little bit longer, or a little less if I've gone way over, then please do. But we're now back into that reach to the side. Feeling this stretch down your inner leg, your adductors, or your adductor. Again, maybe you're resting your leg on your sofa, on the plant pot, resting it on the bed for a little support if you don't have the band. The other leg may be down onto the mat, or you may find keeping the knee bent, opening it out to the side is fine. Just see if you can reach into that stretch just a little more. Again, focusing on your breathing in through your nose, out through the mouth. Let's go ahead and take the leg across the body to the other side. Again, you can drop the other leg down, but you're focusing on your hips, staying nice and level. Your shoulders staying down and away from the ears. Good, just keep holding. As that muscle relaxes, can you reach across a little bit more? Let's hold it for a few more seconds. Good. Slowly remove that band. You should hopefully find, fingers crossed, when you go back into a full body stretch, that both legs now feel exactly the same. Good. Just slowly take your time as you roll on to your front. Now I do advise, if you've got any back pain and this feels uncomfortable, you may not want to do this one, or you may find that doing this on your side is a lot more comfortable. So you're just going to roll onto your front, and we're just going to target the front of the leg, your quad. You're going to bring one leg in towards you, so your heel towards your glutes, and you're going to catch above the ankle. Please don't pull on the foot, and you're just going to see if you can rest your head down into your hands, and you're making sure you're not sinking into your lower back at all. Being careful of the shoulder, just making sure the shoulder feels nice and comfortable as well. Your other leg is just reaching nice and long. And let's switch to the other side. And you can just tuck the other arm under, just resting your head down into that hand or that arm. Good. Let the leg drop down. We're just going to come up into our Pilates Sphinx. This is where your elbows are underneath your shoulders, your forearms are down, your palms are down. Just make sure sure your shoulders are away from your ears, and again, there's no sinking into your lower back. So if there is, please lower yourself down to where it feels comfortable. Some of you may have a little bit more flexibility in your lower back, so you may want to press into Cobra, but again, make sure your shoulders aren't up towards the ears, they're down, away from the ears. I'm going to stay somewhere in between, and you're just going to look straight ahead. Toes are untucked, and I just want you to feel your abdominals opening out, your chest opening. I want your collarbones nice and wide. It's almost like your collarbone or your collarbones are smiling. You're really opening. Let's slowly lower down, and you're just going to take your hands underneath your shoulders, and you're just going to press yourself up into our Pilates cat stretch. So you just want to place your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and I just want you to round up through the spine. So it's almost like you're creating the letter C. And I just want you to feel this lovely stretch through the spine. And then starting from the tailbone to the middle back to the head, without sinking too much and putting too much pressure into your lower back. I just want you to lift through the head and your tailbone. And then you're going to tuck back in. Tailbone to middle back to upper towards your head. And again, just really rounding up. And then sinking back down. Tailbone to middle back to head. Good. Just keep one knee in. Just come back to neutral spine. And just glide one leg back behind you. I'm just going to move up so I'm fully on the mat. You can bring yourself down onto your forearms. You can lower down a little bit more. And I just want you to feel your hip flexors opening out through the front. As long as there's no sinking into the lower back, you may want to lift up just a little higher. Trying to keep your hips nice and level. And let's switch to the other side. Bring the other leg in, taking the other one back. And again, you may be a little bit lower. You may even be back to doing this on your front. So that front laying version we did, you can do that as well. And just feel those hip flexors gently opening out. Good, drawing the leg back in. Just sit back onto your heels into child's pose. And I just want you to loop your arm underneath the other and just look underneath the arm. And this is a lovely stretch for around the shoulder, a little bit through your waist and your neck as well. Remember, your toes are untucked. Your palm is facing up of the arm that's looped through. And let's switch to the other side. Take the other arm, loop it through. Just look underneath that arm. And just feel that through the other side. Coming back to child's pose. This time just reach your arms by your side, allowing your shoulders to fall forwards. And you can just rest your head down into the mat. Your palms are facing up. Good. Just reach your hands back in front and slowly roll yourself up to a lovely seated position. Just drop down onto your sit bones and just bring yourself into a nice comfortable seated position. Maybe with your legs crossed, whatever feels best. If you want to sit on a Pilates block or a cushion, just to help lift you up a little more, then you can. And let's just drop the head over to the side and just use the hand to help gently bring the neck or the head down to the side. It's like your ear is just trying to meet your shoulder. Try not to lift the shoulders towards the ear though, and then switch to the other side. And then just lock the fingers, press the palms away. And again, we're just rounding through our back, our shoulders. And do the same to the other side. Lock the fingers, press the arms back. Feel the chest open, but make sure your head is not dropping back too much. And you may just want to place your hands on the mat instead for that one. Good. Just slowly lower yourself down to the mat. And we're just going to come into the last little bit of relaxation. You can bring yourself all the way down. You can rest through the legs, or you may want to keep the knees bent. You may want to completely change position if this is uncomfortable. You may want your arms out to the side. And I just want you to let everything you've been working, if you've done an exercise routine before this, just relax. If it was maybe just stress, tension that had built up, just allow that to melt away. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit more stretched out, a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more balanced from that little routine. I just want you to feel the hands, the feet, even the face. Are you holding any tension there? The shoulders, are they hunched up towards the ears still? Just let them relax down. Your spine. Is your spine arching up or pushing down into the mat too much with tension? Just let that release. Just let your legs and your arms sink down into the mat. And I just want you to bring your attention to your breathing. In through your nose as your rib cage expands to the side and the back of the rib cage. And exhale, pressing all of that air out. And again, deep breath in, you're filling up your lungs as much as you can. And on the exhale, you're getting rid of all of that air and any tension. Just for the last few seconds, just let your body melt down into the mat just a little bit more. You may have your eyes closed, you may have them open, whatever feels best for you. You may want to give your hands, your wrists, your ankles a little rotate and get out any clicks as well. Just take your time to slowly, if you're on your front, just take your time as you slowly, if you're on your back, just to slowly roll back onto your front. And we're going to come back into that cat stretch we did just a little while ago. One more time, arching all the way up. Melting down from the tailbone to the middle back to the head. Coming back to neutral and just sit back into child's pose. Last little release. Start to walk the hands in towards you. Tuck the toes under. Bring yourself into a little crouch where you can rock on and off of the toes. Feeling a lovely little stretch to the bottom of the feet. Press your feet down to the mat and just straighten the legs and just notice compared to the beginning, maybe you can reach down a little lower, maybe you just feel a little bit more relaxed. If you want, you can just hold on to the elbows and just have a little swing from side to side and reach back down. Let's start to roll up bit by bit, lower back to middle to upper, standing nice and tall. Bring yourself back to where you can see me or hear me best. Standing nice and tall and just lift into a lovely standing full body stretch. If you want to go up onto the toes, then you can, or you can keep your feet grounded. And then lower back down. And let's do that one last time, reaching all the way up, feeling that little taller, that little bit more stretched out. And then slowly melt all the way back down. I hope you're feeling a little bit more relaxed. You feel ready for either the rest of your day or ready for bed. Let me know what you thought. Put your comments down below and ask me any questions if you have any. Other than that, I hope you have a great day, a great evening, whichever day you're on, and I'll see you next week for another video. Take care. Bye.